Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Sishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Manyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananamayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavadpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Jantunam narajanmadullabhamadapum swam tato viprata tasmat vaidiga kaparada vidvatvamasmat param vivechanam swanubhavo brahmatmana samstitihi muktir janmashat muktir punyirvina labhyate. Good. And recall that so that you should know. Remember. Jnate vastunnyapi balavati vasananadiresha karta bhoktaapyahamidi drida yasya samsara hetuhu pratyagdrishtya nivasati sada swapaniya prayatnat muktim prahustadiha munayo vasanatanavam yat. In this way, one should remember what is Shruti, what is the state, what is stated in Shruti. Shruti is not just listening or reading the scriptures, but using the logic used in that Shruti. Shrutya yuktya. So we read that verse 2281. Shrutya yuktya swanubhutya Jnatva sarvatmyamatmanah Kvachit abhasata prapta Swadhyasapanayam kuru Shrutya yuktya swanubhutya Jnatva sarvatmyamatmanah Kvachidabhasata prapta Swadhyasapanayam kuru. As we see the last quarter remaining the same. Swa adhyasa apanayam kuru. Kuru do. Swa adhyasa apanayam. Swayameva krita adhyasam. Swayameva kritam Swayameva kalpitam adhyasasya apanayam kuru. So the self-created superimposition, may you remove it, because nobody else can do that. So here, this swa adhyasa apanayam katam kartum shakyate, apanayam kartum shakyate katam. So that is what is said, shrutya yuktya Atma eva idam sarvam ityadi shrutya yasya spuranam vina yenna spurati tat tatah na adirichati yata modha gataha dundubihi sangabhisade. I remember. So, whereas a person who thinks that yasya spuranam vina yenna spurati, without whose presence nothing else can be known, na atirichyate yada, just as mritaha gataha, like mud alone is pot. I am not using the pot for a long time. Where is it? Somewhere. No, it's okay. It must be there. Next time I have to keep it ready. Yatha mritam vina gataha na sambhavati, na bhavati. Mrideva gataha. Similarly, dudubihi shangaha, veena shabdaha, samanya vishesha eva iti shruti anusarinya yuktya. Yet vidiriktam or yet rute, in the absence of which na sambhavati, what is not possible in the absence of it, none of them which we take it for granted are possible. Darshanam, Shravanam, Gamanam, going, seeing, hearing, none of these are possible. That is again and again established by the Shruti only. Shabda pramanena jnatam. And Shruti vihita yuktya, which is in the form of Panchakosha Viveka, Driktisha Viveka, Atmanatma Viveka, Avastatre Viveka, Ityadi Yuktya, Sarvasya Atmana Atma Bhana Bhasyatvat, Tat Adiriktatvam Sakala Kalpana Adhishthanatvach. All other things that are projected are also because of the adhisthana of the self only. Na adhishtanat binnataha aropitasya ityadi yuktya. Aropitasya adhishtanat binnatvam nasti. Just like sarpasya adhishtanam ropaha. Sorry, not aropa. Rajjuhu. That when you don't see rope, it's called aropa. Adi aropa. Because not seeing aropa becomes adi aropa, adhyaropa, or adhyasa. So here, adhishtanat binnata asti nasti aropitasya ityadi yuktya tat anusarinya. Based upon this premise, based upon this teaching, swanubudhya api atmanah sarvatmyam. Sarvatmyam means sarvata sarveshu sada sarvabhuteshu atma ekameva iti sarvatmyam. Jnatva kalpitanam sarvesham vastava swarupatam viditva kvachit kosha adau abhasatah chaitanya pradipalana matrat prapta swa adhyasa apanayam kuru ahantam nashaya. Remove the superimposition, and it is hard for us to remove the superimposition because we have been acquainted with the expression of consciousness through the body, mind, etc. We are not able to distinguish it. As I said in the last class, if this external is easy, Rope is also external, snake is also external. So it is easy. We can objectify that. But here, Atma is internal and Aropitam also internal. Body is also not, we don't see it as external to us. And body and the Atman are two different things. We cannot distinguish because both are me. Ahameva deha shariram. Ahameva atma api. So which aham I am? Deha aham na. Aham na shariram. This is difficult because ahameva shariram. Shariram ahameva iti sada anubhavati purushaha. All the time a person constantly thinks of that tadna aham iti kim kartum shakyate. Etadeva adhyapana. Etadeva adhyasa. Adhyasa. This is what is called adhyasa. And externally we can remove this because both are objectifiable. Here both are subject. And one is object, another subject, it's a little bit easy. Like I'm not saying I'm the shirt. Even though I'm wearing all the time. All the time meaning this physical body is there and then I can distinguish it from the cloth that I'm wearing. So even if I take deha is aham, but a shirt I am not saying that aham. Where? That is objectified. What is subject? Body. So body is me, shirt is not me. That is very clear. But here, when I want to distinguish Atman and the Sharira, both are me, then how will I distinguish? That is the difficulty here. But that is why it is called, that is why it is necessary, Shrutya Yuktya. Shruti Shraddha hona chahiye. Shruti means Shraddha, Pramana Shraddha hona chahiye. Without that Shraddha, proceeding further in this inquiry is not possible. So that is the reason, again and again, it has been emphasized and overemphasized. It is not that one should become Shastri, only merely a Shastrajna. That is why it says, Shastrajna api swatantrena atma anveshanam na kuryat. Even a person studied very well, do not independently do the inquiry gurum vina, without the proper guidance of a guru. Because guru's main effort is to emphasize and also to constantly remind. This is how it should be done. This is how it is to be done. Continuing in the next verse here. Annadana visargabhyam Ishannasti kriya munehe Tateganishtaya nityam Swadhyasapanayam kuru Annadana visargabhyam Ishannasti kriya munehe Tadeka nishtaya nityam swadhyasapanayam kuru. Again, the last quarter remaining the same. Anna adanam. Annadana nahi. Anna adana. Adana means to take, to consume. Anna adana kriya. Visarga kriya. Visarga means rejection. So taking the food, excavation or excretion, tabhyam ishan na asti, kriya na asti, for whom mune. So in the case of a muni or in the case of a person who is totally engrossed in the nishta or abidance, even these eating and excretion, etc., also said to be unconsciously done. Unconsciously done means he's not interested in engaging in those actions, but Sharira Yatra, for the sake of this body's existence, he may do it. And that Munehe Kriya Nasti Sada Ekanishtaya Nityam. So it is said that one who is Ekanishtaya, Gurudev says, eating food, Anna Adana means perception, reception of sense objects, or all the sense perceptions. So one who is engrossed in the nature of the self, he may probably see but does not register or take that into reality. Our responses to the stimuli received represent excretion or expulsion, receiving stimuli from the world of objects and responding to them with egocentric identification are not done by a man of reflection. So it is that state of total abidance where these things are happening, but not with an intent to enjoy, experience, continue, repeat. That is the state of the person. It is said that like that of a child, which is very fond of playing, and you forcefully make the child sit down, eat. It may probably eat, but not interested in eating, because he is interested to go and play. Okay. Run towards the game again. My engrossed in that. Are you watching a movie? Popcorn goes inside. You don't even know the taste. The whole popcorn is over. Then you realize that you has taken 250 calories by the time. So mind is engrossed in something, obviously doesn't have any interest in. So in the same way here, but in the case of a Muni who is attempting himself to be completely engaged in abidance in the self, so kriya na asti munehe. So here, Pashyan, Shrunman, Sprashan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Shwapan, Shwasan, Pralakan, Misran, Jigran, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api, Indriyani, Indriyatyeshu, Vartanta, Iti, Dharayan, Naiva Kinchit Karomi, Iti, Yuktaha, Manyeta, Tattvavit. A person of such understanding, he says it's going on. Eyes are seeing, ears are listening. Since because our mind is so engrossed in all these sense perceptions, we have neglected the self, and that is called suicide. Gurudev called it as a self-suicide. Atmahani. We have killed the self. When we ignore something, it is as good as killing it, right? And a father was so angry with this. I am concerned you are dead. I am not going to bother about you. Ignoring you completely. So this ignoring is as good as killing. So what we have done is Atmahani. We've ignored the self for a long time. That a Muni who is turned his attention towards that self, he's ignored all other things. So I don't even care about this. So Anna Adana, what is that? Munehe Satatam Paramatma Mananashilasya Paramatma Mananashilasya Anna Adana Visargabhyam Anya Kriyaha Ishadabi Nasti. Even a little of interest is not there. Either the action itself is not there, or he does not seriously undertake them as important. Yeah, खाना है तो खाने हैं, बस ठीक है. किसके लिए? शरीर यात्रा के लिए बस. Body has to go on, so therefore eat. For us, that is the most important agenda of the day. क्या खाना है, क्या पकवाना है, पकवाना. Pakana hai, not pakwana. Pakana, right? Makana. Pakana hai. Makana pakana hai. इसमें भी हमारा दृष्टि और बुद्धि all the time morning what is the break, what is for lunch, what is for dinner, what is for the next? Oh, Diwali sweet क्या है? इसको बारे में हम लोग बहुत सोचना पड़ेगा. Earlier times, when I was growing up, I know about a festival only when the sweet is prepared. It's a particular sweet only prepared for a particular festival. Oh, Navaratri is coming. Oh, Diwali is coming. Only by the preparation of the sweet I know it. Now it is every day available, so that doesn't matter. But then the women folk of the village and everywhere, they are so engrossed in doing that. Summer time they have to make the vadas. Vadakam, what do you call that? What do you call that? I don't know, north they have. Vadi. Go to the terrace and then try them, put them on. Because summer has come, we have to do that. Oh, summer has come, I didn't do anything now. Or what? भगवान के लिए कुछ नहीं किया, नहीं है जाने, बड़ा नहीं किया. So much of engrossment in the experience of the senses. अतः नित्यं तदेकनिष्ठया तस्मिन् परमात्मनि एका अनन्यतया या निष्ठा. See, even though presently it is not our priority, so to say, but we must keep that in mind. I say, I don't know how many years we live, what we have been living like. We must have some goal set. Right? At least when I reach age 70 or 75, 81, we are already 70, then I can't help it, but 70, 78. So at that time, I must have achieved that much of Nishtatva. Otherwise, we'll live miserably. We must keep that as a goal. At least when I reach in another 15 years or 5 years, if not earlier, I must be able to remain with myself, with no other disturbance or thought disturbances, as long as possible. And the other day also, Sunday, I was telling, is there any time you can sit oneself for 1 hour without doing anything else? Many of them said, no, that you are doing already. 1 hour you are sitting in the class, doing nothing. Right? You can, if you want to. So then suddenly they realize, yeah, that's right, 1 hour we are sitting doing nothing. So you can do. Of course, listening Swamiji, okay, that is at least, it's not creating any new activity, at least in your mind. By listening to Ramayana or Gita or Upanishad, it is not prompting you to act, right? At least desireful activity. It is not prompting you to do any selfish activity, at least. It is making you reflect, do vichar karne ke liye वही अवस्था देता है. A situation it creates. So that itself, that was Shravanam is a very good precursor for meditation. Because if a person can sit and listen to something to reflect on, that itself is a contemplative mood. So that's why 1 hour or so, when one comes and sits on in a place where one can listen to this knowledge, that itself creates the mananatvam, muni. That's a muni is what? Mananashilava. So, what I mean by that is, we must keep that as a goal. Brahmanishtatvam hona chahiye. Even if it is not the priority today, but I should not consider that it's not possible. Only when you see the possibility of it, then there is a prayatna for it. Effort is only when you see the possibility. Right? We don't see the possibility also. Where is the prayatna then? No effort if I don't see the possibility. So these verses are trying to advise us, no, try to remain without identification with the body and its demands, and see how much you can do the Atmanishta. And then only, through that only, Swa Adhyasa Apanayanam Sambhavati. Unwanted superimposition of the Anatma on the Atman can be overcome. Tattvamasyadi vakyota brahmatmaikatva bodhatah brahmanyadatma dhargyaya swadhyasapanayam kuru. Tattvamasyadi vakyotha brahmatmaikatva bodhatah brahmanyatmatva dhargyaya swadhyasapanayam kuru. Brahmani atmatva dhargyaya. Brahmani in the self, atmatva one's own being, dhardyaya to determine, to decide, to establish. Dridata. Dridata means firmness. Nishta. Dhardyaya. How? Brahma Atma Ekatva Bodhatah. Bodhatah Panchami. Bodha. Bodha or teaching. Bodhatah. Through the teaching of the oneness between Brahman and Atman. And what is that knowledge coming from? Tattvamasyadi Vakya Uttha. Vakya Jata. Tattvamasyadi Vakya Mahavakya Uttha. Uttha means Jata. Born out of the Mahavakyas such as Tattvamasi. One has to contemplate about that again and again, because it is easily one can habitually identify with what is not. So it is said Tattvamasi Tattvamasyadi Vakyotha Utta Jatah Ya Brahmatmanah Manoho Ekatvasya Bodhah Satadah Tad Bhalena Brahmani Atmatva Dhardyaya Dhardya Cha Dehatma Jnanavat Brahmatma Jnanam Tasmai Swadhyasa Apanayam. So Adhyasa Apanayam. Deha Atma Jnanavat Brahmatma Jnanam Dhardyam Kartavyam Dridata. So like Aham Deha body, anybody told you? Nobody told me. Nobody instructed me. You understand one thing? Mahavakya. What? Tvam Sharirameva. Nobody told me. It is not a bodha. It is not an advice given to anybody. So, even without anybody advising us, we have been consistently holding on to this wrong perception that I am this body, mind alone. It must be cancelled, can be overturned, can be contradicted. Contradicted in the sense to overcome, not contradict does not to fight with it. By the statement from the Upanishads, Mahavakya, that as I have Dehatma Bhava, I should replace it with Brahmatma Bhava. And that is the prayatna, again and again and again. So as we saw, Jnana Abhyas is not a physical activity. Only physical activity can exert you. If you have to do physically something, so somebody asked me, so Swamiji, you are saying that हमको जप करना है, कितना देर लगेगा? First question is कितना देर लगेगा? How long it will take? Because I have to allot time, no? I have to find my time, during my busy schedule. I have to find a time to do this japa of whatever. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya. Upasana भी करना चाहिए. Also Swamiji, उसको भी देर लगेगा. उसका भी टाइम रखना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, देहात्म भाव के लिए आप कुछ टाइम है? मैं देह हूं, उसका एक, do you spend time on that? अहम देह, अहम देह, अहम देह, अहम देह. 108 times. Do you? Is it not that it doesn't need time, it's only attention? So that needs to be replaced by Aham Brahma. This is not exertion of either physical energy, nor there is any particular time that you have to allot. It is the way you shift your perception, understanding, attention, and identification. That shift is what is called jnana abhyas. Force of habit would deny you that or bring an obstacle. So, tattvamasyadi vakyabodhota brahmatmaikatva bodhatah brahmani atmatva dhardhyaya. For that purpose, swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Remove that misconception of superimposition. As much as one can identify with the body effortlessly, one should identify with the Brahman also effortlessly. Anatma brantau mahavakyabhyah bodhasya eva jananat. Evasya ajananat. So, Atma brantau, anatma brantau mahavakyabhyah bodhasya eva jananat. Eva jananat. By that alone, one can overcome that. Kiyat kalam brantihi. How long is this branti? Branti means not any drinkable thing. Branti here means delusion. So the delusion, how long? Kiyat kalam. Nirasa prayatnaha kiyat kalam. Swatma Swa adhyasa nirasa prayatnaha kimat kiyat kalam. How long? Karaniyaha, to be done. Iti cha itra adava idam cha adaha aham bhavasya dehesmin nishesha vilayavadhi savadhanena yuktatma swadhyasapanayam kuru. Aham bhavasya dehesmin nishesha vilayavadhi savadhanena yuktatma swadhyasapanayam kuru. How long? Kiyat kalam. Dehesmin nishesha vilayavadi. Aham bhavasya. Aham iti bhavaha dehe asti. Asmin dehe nishesha vilaya avadi. Up to the point laya takes place, up to the point of subsidence of the misunderstanding in the body as I am. Avadi means up to that point. Up to the point of dissolution of the feeling of I in the body. Savadhanena. Don't force yourself. Of course, there should be a consistent engagement or a consistent practice. But don't do it in a haste. Gurudev wrote a book called Hasten Slowly. How is that so contradictory? Hasten out slowly. There should be a eagerness in the mind, but understand that it should not be done all of a sudden. Now, I'll tell you why I'm saying this very important one part is some people go crazy when they do it hastily. I've seen people who, having listened to this, without understanding how it has to be done systematically, when they Suddenly, out of an inspiration, when they start denying everything to this, and then they mentally they become disturbed. Seriously, I'm not even joking. That's why you very clear. Savadane. Shanai Shanai Ruparame Buddhyadriti Grihiyate Atma Samstamana Kritvana Kinchita Vichitayate. Slowly, slowly. Because it's like a running train, and you had suddenly understand you're on the wrong train. What will you do? Jump off. Jump off. Then you're done. You wait for it to slow down or pull the string if you want to. Or otherwise, wait for it to calm down and slow down. And then the next station, get off and then take the opposite train or whichever train you need to take. So when sometimes I don't talk to the people who are driving, they miss the exit. So last minute they realize, and you cannot do it. I said, don't go to the next exit. Don't do it now. Even if it takes time, don't do it. Why are you endangering yourself? Take sometimes, okay, I'm not in a hurry. Just let's go slow. So hasten, but there should be an inner urgency, but should not be done all of a sudden. Hasten, savadhanena. Yuktya, yukta atma, savadhanena yukta atma. Apramada antakarana. Apramatta antakarana. Son. That's what savadhana means. Without making a conscious error of that. Son, swadhyasa apanayam. You know, personally, I have to tell you this. We were Yogakendra and we were studying Atma Bodh. First started with Silver Unfoldment, then Tattva Bodh. Before I went to the Sandipani, we almost basic texts we have done. In fact, Swami Tejamanja came to, I organized the Yajna with him year 87. 87. How many of you are not born? Okay, 87. I was Yogakendra secretary, and then I was organizing in the area where I was living in Bangalore. I was in charge of the area. So Guruji came, and so I organized this yajna in one place. That time it was, the text was Advaita Makaranta. It's a quite advanced text it was. And he himself has written a commentary on that also. And evening talks were in Indranagar. So I was attending his class, morning class. Of course, it was, at that time, everything was going over me. I mean, I have studied the Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh and all, so I could understand what he was talking, but the concepts were very abstract at that point. And I still have the book where he signed up 1987. So then at the end of the whole week, and I was with him and one of the Bhiksha, he asked me, did you understand anything what is going on? I said I was trying my best. You will know it at some point of time. So this was what? Almost 40 years back? 35 years back, right? 37 years back. 37. So now, along with me, there was one more boy. I mean, few others, all our Yogakendra students. This boy, he got so engrossed in that. Of course, we were all studying together, we were discussing on the points. And he was also very eager. And he went to the engineering, he was studying engineering there, and he was going for a field trip to Goa. And he used to listen to Gurudev every day. I was also a part of that group. We would discuss a particular tape or talk. During those time, it was a cassette. And then we discussed. I mean, not only on Sunday, during the week also we meet many times to discuss. So he was also discussing, and then he said, I'm going for this field trip. All right. Later on, I came to know that he died. It was such a shock to all of us. So then we had no idea what happened. So obviously he tried to connect with his friends in the engineering college and all that when they came for the funeral. I was there. It was such a tragedy. So I took those friends to a side and said, what actually happened? Tell us. They said, so we didn't want to tell the parents. This is exactly what happened. He was all with us. We were all sitting on the, this beach talking. And he was kind of, he was, secluded. He doesn't want to discuss about other things. So he said, hey, I have an idea. I'll just walk into the water. They said, what? What, crazy or what? He said to us, told us, this is my body and I do not want to be in this body. Suddenly, all of a sudden, I know this is not true. My real nature is self. What? And they were all thinking that fellow will go there and come back. Unfortunately, he doesn't know swimming. He just walked into the water. They realized after some time, because he didn't even struggle for coming out. You see? Just walked into the water. So what I mean is by this, so one should not, this is possible. That's why he's very careful. Savadhanena. Take time. Convince yourself. Don't do all of a sudden. Digest the ideas. Think about it. Practice it as much as you can and wherever you can. Slowly increase your awareness and decrease your identification with other things in the physical body and then what it does and how it does, what others say about it and what others comment. It doesn't matter to me. I know who I am. So this way, one has to very carefully walk the path. That's why Gurudev said, hasten slowly. Bhagavan also said, shane. Savadhanena kuru. Very important. So because I have personal experience, that's why I'm telling you. There are people who do hastily, and it creates not only trouble to themselves, but everybody around them also. Savadhanena yuktatma swadhyasapanayam kuru. Gurudev also says, for deep confirmed experience, the spiritual experience of the self should not be a passing fancy or some sensuous experience only. It must be firm and deep experience. Try to remove the misconception with great concentration and care. Underline that, care. Through study, reflection and meditation, slowly and calmly. Obviously, Gurudev might have seen such, many such people who do it hastily and then got into trouble. There is no hurry. And yes, we are from Hinduism, so we have enough lives to go through. There is no need for so much of a hurry. Hari bhajo, Hari. Don't be in a hurry. But Pratitirjiva jagatoho Swapnavadbhati yavata Tavan nirantaram vidvan Swadhyasapanayam kuru Pratitirjiva jagatoho Swapnavadbhati yavata Tavan nirantaram vidvan Swadhyasapanayam kuru. Jiva jagatoho pratitihi. Pratiti, perception, understanding. Jiva jagatoho, of the individual self and the world. Both. Swapnavat bhati yavata. When on that occasion or the situation where both individual and the world are seen to be like dream. How you don't take your dream too seriously when you wake up. Similarly, upon this awakening to this knowledge, one should recognize that everything that happens in this present life, whether it's emotional or experiences, feelings and thoughts and the world outside, ये भी होगा स्वप्न है. It's all in the dream, everything is possible. Let it happen. Tavan nirantaram vidvan. So long as this understanding, it is only a dream, when it becomes confirmed and firm, in that way, swa adhyasa apanayam kuru. So, etat jagat, etat jivatvam, sarvam swapnavat eva, salpakale, anityakale, satyavad bhati. Yavanna jnayate brahma, sarvadhishtanamadvayam. Yeah, so long as one does not understand that Brahman as the reality, tavat satyam jagat bhati, the world will appear to be real. Shuktika rajatam yata. Like that of on the shell, it looks like a silver. So samsara swapnatulyo hi ragatve sankulaha. Swabodhe satyavad bhadi, prabodhe satyasad bhavet. This world is nothing, that samsara is satyavad bhati. So it appears to be so real. So it is nothing but what you call this swapnatulyohi, like that of the dream only it is. So on Gurudev writes here, one school of commentators emphasize that till the Jiva and Jagat distinction, that subject-object relationship appear even as a dream, the practice of self-withdrawal has to be continued. According to the school, the practice stops when everything around, including the sadhak's very individuality, disappears as a vision in the dream. So the moment that understanding it is a dream, at that very moment the practice stops. Because once you know, there is no more practice. This is not real, this is not real, you don't need to repeat yourself. I know it is not real. There it stops. Stops means, no, there is no more falling back. When I know that it's like watching a movie, after you watch the movie and get out, no reality of what you have seen. The villain is dead. The hero is also dead. Hero doesn't survive after the movie. The heroine doesn't, none of them survive after that. All of them are dead only, finally. Finally, the hero killed that villain and rescued the heroine and the others. And then what happened? All of them dead. Like Bhagavan Vishnu, when he showed, Krishna showed, Vishwarupa Darshan. And Arjuna was very excited to see Duryodhana was killed, Karna was killed. All these Kauravas are you so excited, or all of them are killed. Yeah. And then you are also because that. You're not going to survive after this. You may take some time to get out, but you are also going to be done. Nobody is spared. They may go earlier than you, that's all it is. And enjoy them going earlier than you. After that, what happens? After that, you also have to go. Rama also has to disappear at some point. Ravana was killed, no doubt. Rama, Lakshmana, everybody is dead. Only Hanuman is spared. But everybody is gone. So when one wakes up, individuality as well as the world that is seen by the individuality, both are out. So this is one field of, one school of that. But Gurudev writes, the other school says, even if there is a dreamlike perception of the subject-object relationship, the practice of self-withdrawal has to be continued till the sadhak enters completely into samadhi. till the Nirvikalpa Samadhi takes place, one should continue the practice, because any time, Maya is not that easy to overcome. It's not your power. It's Bhagavan's power. He can overturn the whole thing, within a second. So one has to remain devoted to the Lord so that it won't come and disturb you. Maya medam tarantite. He says Maya you can overcome. When? If you are still at the feet of the Lord. Keep remembering Him. Then it will not touch you. Even as you know it is only a chaya matram. It's only a shadow of the Lord. Yet you cannot take it for granted. So the two types of men of realization are revered and respected in Hinduism. So the first type are those even after realization come to work in the society. They work because they see the world around them, and even while they are working, they are fully aware that the world of plurality is unreal, like a dream. And he quotes Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Acharya Shankara, Janaka, and obviously himself, which he doesn't quote himself, of course, are examples of this type. Whereas there are others who turn completely in meditation. They do not experience anything of the world outside. Whenever the perception of plurality occurs, they immediately withdraw their mind and try to remain fixed on Brahman. Swami Tapovanam, it's not mentioned the name, but such people, they remain elusive, exclusive, solitude, and they are not at all interested to. Even as they say the world needs some advice or teaching, which Gurudev, such other people went and, took interest in doing that. But Swami Tapanam said, "Ye swapna hai." Why are you bothered about this? No, but Gurudev said, no, but they have to be helped to then come out of that dream. Acha, that is your vasana, do it. Swami Tapanam will remain quiet. He said, okay, Matatastu, my blessings to you. They would not come out of that state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Like for example, Ramashna Paramahamsa. Vivekananda going all over the place. But he would not. He said, I am fine, wherever I am. He never stepped out of his Dakshineshwar any time. Whereas Vivekananda never stood in one place. He kept on moving until even though short time. So here, these both are there. Pratitihi yavata kalena jivasya jagadasya pratitihi prabuddhasya swapnavat, like a dream, nischita mityatvakam, the nature of complete illusion, bhati tavat kala paryantam nirantaram vidvan swadhyasapanayam kuru. Until that point of knowing the entire experience is nothing but like a dream, though experienced, no reality. It is not there. What Swapana example is given to show that even though experienced, it has no intrinsic reality. It is not a lasting reality. It is not something which can affect me in any way, unless I give reality to that. I identify with that. So, our Gurudev would say, when yesterday you had some experience, whatever it is, and then you say next day, okay, hope it comes, repeats today also, put a dot or continued. And does it happen next day? Same thing? No. Something else comes. Have you ever experienced continuation of yesterday's dream? How many of you? It may look like as though you experienced this previously. That's a mental illusion. I think I did the same dream that day, the day before yesterday also. Sometimes, it appears to be so. Because of our strong identification with that dream experience, it may probably repeat. Very often when I wake up and with the dream, is it real? It appears to be so real. It is so intrinsic, very, very intensive. Evam navabihi shlokaihi anatma branti apanayam upadishya. Having in this said in 9 verses about how to overcome or get rid of this superimposition. Atma nasha hetoho vismurtehe. Vismriti means absence of remembering Atman is the, as I said, Atmanash. Killing of the self by not remembering one's nature of the self. Kinchit api avakashaha na deyaha. Vismritehe avakashaha na deyaha. Do not give a room for absence of this knowledge, remembrance of this. Vismritehe kinchit api avakashaha na deyaha. Iti vismriti hetu vishadanena. Vismriti hetu. What is the cause of this vismriti? What is the cause of forgetting self? Vishadanena, clearly, upadishati. What are the causes for we forgetting ourselves as a self? Remembrance obviously will remove the adhyasa. But there are viparita bhavana. So many other thoughts will come and make us forget. So what are those things, and we have to be careful about them. So that is said here. We'll read that verse number 286. Nidraya lokavartaya Shabdaderapi vismritehe Kvachitnavasaram datva Chintayatmanamatmani Nidraya lokavartayaha Shabdaderapi vismritehe Kvachitnavasaram datva Chintayatmanamatmani. Vismritehe kvachit na avasaram datva. Na datva, not giving what? Kinchit na avasaram. Kinchit avasaram na datva. Not even an occasion. Avasaram means an opportunity, an occasion, a chance. Don't give a chance for, room for, avakasha room. Don't give a room for vismritihi. Atma vismritihi. Forgetting the self. And what are the things that would cause you not to remember the self? Nidra. So that means you are not asleep, Swamiji. Not like that. Laziness in the tamas. Tamas to be avoided at any cost, except during the time when you have to sleep, you have to sleep. There's no doubt about that. Body needs a rest. But laziness, lethargy, complacency in study, reflection, attempt to quieten the mind, that should be avoided. Especially complacency, especially the postponement. Oh, aaj nahi karenge to kal karenge. Who will be thinking about this? There's so many other things to think about. This kind of laziness. Another thing she says, loka varta. आप वेदांत पढ़ रहे हो? क्या हुआ? क्या हुआ? What's wrong with you? In your mind you say, everything is wrong with you all, not with me. So we cannot say openly, then they will think us crazy. Loka vartayaha shabdadehe. People tend to comment, criticize, ridicule those things are also there. Even slightest chance to forget, sleep, unawareness, that's what it is. And then matters of the world, lokavarta is, and then shabdade. Okay, here, what is lokavarta? Gurudev says the occasional things that are happening in the world need not have to make you forget. But in the commentary, Sanskrit commentary says those people who are commenting on your sadhana, usme, don't take it seriously. So these are all the possible things. Shabdade means all the Vishaya asaktis, all the Vishayas which are attracting. Nidrayaha Panchami. Evam, like it's try off. Okay. And evam Lokavartayaha Shabdaderabi Vishayat Prasajyamana ya Vismritihi Atma Vismaranam Tasyaha Kvachit Abhi Avasaram Avakasham. Avakasham, what is it given? Avakasham, the printing is not correct. Avakasham only. Adatva Atmanam Param Swarupam Atmani Buddho Chintaya. Uktam hi Dahyad na avasaram kinchit kamadinam managavi. Even a little. Don't give room for desire, etc., which will distract you. Yadva sarvatra shashti vidrayaha lokavartayaha shabdadehe vismriderabi kvachit abhidi avasara adatva chintaya atmanam atmana ityartha. So either you shashti you take or panchami you take. From those things or of those things. Uktam hi moksha dharmeshu aprashanam asamsparsham asandarshanam evacha purushasya esha niyamah manye nishreyasam varam. So aprashanam means not fully engrossed in eating or contact with objects, seeing, etc. Purushasya niyamah. So Gurudev, I think, writes about this, about, he says that it is generally observed that when a man is fired with enthusiasm to dedicate himself to that ideal, the less intelligent and unenthusiastic people around him try to dissuade him. If he yields to the pressure, his enthusiasm will ebb away and consequently his efforts will weaken miserably. So people who do not understand this importance of this knowledge and practice may probably think that you are escaping from a situation, right? So many people think, "Aap Swami ban rahe ho? Kya hua? You are trying to escape from samsar?" Who is the girl? Who is the girl? They don't even ask anything. Who is the guru? Who is the girl? Who made you like this? So this way, do not get distracted by laziness of the tamas, or that's why it is said, Janakripa Nashturyam Utsrijyadam. Both the praise and insult both need to be given up or to be dejected, ignored, because it's not going to help you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.